Welcome back. Module 5. This for a lot of people is where it starts to get really juicy, really interesting. And it's also where we start to explore a little bit more of the tantric influence on our yoga practice. This module is called Your Subtle Body. So we'll explore something called the kośas, which are the 5 various sort of layers of being. Kosha translates more or less as a sheath, like a carrier of a, yeah, something that holds. I like the word layer because it doesn't imply a particular hierarchy, and it also doesn't necessarily indicate an inward out or an outward in structure, which you really often see in like visual portrayals of the koshas, that there's like an outermost and an innermost. But my understanding through my teacher is that it's really that's such a limited way of engaging with the koshas because they all are interconnected and not really able to be separated from one another, and that it's very possible that what the visual describes as the innermost layer is actually the biggest and the most vast. Anyhow, I'm digressing. Those 5 layers or aspects of being are the physical body, the breath body or energy body, the mental body, but specifically like the more rudimentary functioning of the mind, the part of the mind that makes it possible for us to exist in the external world, to navigate. The wisdom body, which is often referred to as like higher mind, intuitive mind, the part of the mind that gives us the power to see with clarity, to have the power of viveka, Śakti, discernment, the power to discriminate and then to make decisions based on intuitive wisdom rather than just information presented by the external world. And then there is the bliss body, and the bliss body refers to like the bliss, the joy of just the fact that you exist. Of these 5 koshas, these 5 layers or expressions, elements of being, there are a couple that we can work with directly on a subtle level, and they are thus referred to as the subtle body, the sukshma sharira. The physical body we work with predominantly with asana, the physical postures. In order to work with the subtle body, we then start to play with techniques that are more oriented toward prana, and then the influence that prana has on the functioning of the mind. The 2 koshas that comprise our subtle body are the prana maya kosha, the breath or energy body, and manomaya kosha, the mental body, the part of the mind that thinks. Those 2 together constitute the subtle body. So this is where we start to look at the way that we can structure our practice or orient our practice and or our teaching in ways that will directly affect our energy and the way that our mind is functioning. So we look at the cakras, we look at the koshas, we look at something called the vayus, which are the directions by which prana, energy, flows in and around the body. And we start to look a little bit more at aspects of pranayama. There is a module that's coming up that is dedicated specifically to pranayama because it's quite vast, but we start to look at why pranayama is so important, so significant. And again, pranayama as more than just breathing techniques, but as all of the different techniques that genuinely give us a more conscientious and direct relationship with prana. So again, some of that will be breathing. Some of that will be bandha, where we are actually enclosing prana in specific ways in order to allow it to expand or intensify. Mudra, which are little seals of energy that can be hand mudras, which I'm sure you're familiar seeing. They can be internal mudras, the way that we place our tongue and our eyes and our intention. They can be full body mudras, something like Maha Mudra, which is a combination of asana, pranayama, and bandha all together, in order to create sort of a specific circuit through which we want prana to flow in order to accomplish a specific end result. So the subtle body module is very interesting, and your ability to masterfully interweave the orientation of the subtle body in the way that you share asana will set you apart as a yoga teacher or facilitator of yogic experiences. It's really what starts to make your teaching far more impactful and transformative. All right, I'll be back.